fam, we're not done with AOC yet because I believe if you die, you can get help on your funeral. No.
So remember when she was championing the whole thing with what's his face, Schumer?
Yeah.
Who's
Chuckles.
such a great guy. She was trying to get $7,000 for funeral costs if you qualify. Well, now she did something great. She got it up to $9,000 for you and your loved ones once you die. Don't worry. We're not getting health care. They're not fighting for you to get anything while you're alive. But if you die, you get $9,000. Now, that might be worth it because conditions are so bad. So they announced this hotline to apply for FEMA's COVID-19 funeral aid. If you know anything about FEMA, you know, they're a disaster. They're terrible. They really help very few people. If you go back to Katrina time, you saw how just disastrous they were and how inefficient and how many people died because they don't have their shit together.
Terrible leadership always. Terrible leadership.
And of course, we're putting them back at the helm for this COVID pandemic crisis, right?
Yeah.
And so there you go. She's gonna get the $9,000, and the federal government's not going to be providing these benefits to anybody who lost a loved one during this crisis. The FEMA, of course, which stands for Federal Emergency Management Agency, will cover or reimburse up to $9,000. So that doesn't mean entirely $9,000.
Yeah.
Including caskets and burials, which, by the way, a funeral, I think it's more than that anyway.
Yeah.
And
you might be able to get the cheapest one out the door for about $10,000-11,000, I think, usually.
So
the cheapest. That's like, like a woven casket that's not going to hold anything. But here's a thought, fam. Instead of like waiting till you're dead to help you out and give you money, where was AOC and Chuckles Schumer when freaking Cuomo was throwing people into fucking all these nursing homes that were infected with people while he had people from his own assembly, the city councils calling them out.
Yep.
Democrats and Republicans going, hello, there's an issue here. AOC, Chuckles were silent, and now they want to come back like, well, we missed that one, but if you die, we'll give you $9,000. There you go.
I mean, she hasn't said anything about that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think she will. She hasn't said anything about Syria either, by the way.
Yeah.
So let's look at this video. I just want to watch a little bit of this video. She says, come for the instructions, stay for the Spanglish. Once again,
she's such a
God, she's just weaponizing the whole Latino thing yet again to, pretend this is such a great deal. A great deal would be you fighting for the fucking things you literally ran on. The things that she has masks on. Medicare for all masks. Wear your Medicare for all t-shirt. Wear your Medicare for all sweatshirt. Talk about eating the rich. Talk about all these things and then not follow through with a single one. Not even a $15 minimum wage, which was as basic as it gets. None of that shit. But at least you get $9,000 for your fucking funeral. Let's watch what she says.
And she said this is going to be something that we're going to have to work on and get rapid response on. And so I'm very excited to say that that today is the day. The hotline is open, and because that hotline is open, you can call into FEMA and you can start this process today. Now, we know here in New York how tough those early days were. We couldn't even get tests here early on. It was something that was for celebrities and the privileged in those very early days. And so we have been, Senator Schumer and I have been working with FEMA. We've been on the phone trying to get as flexible and accommodating circumstances as possible. Right. So here's what families need to know. Your loved one should have COVID on their death certificate, anywhere listed on their death certificate, either as the primary or contributing cause of death. In those early days, though, we know that so many people, we didn't know what was COVID and what wasn't. And so there are several options available here. One is that you can go back to the institution that issued the death certificate, the hospital, the physician, etc., and you can have your death certificate edited in retrospect, knowing what we know now about COVID.
Okay, so just to reiterate, you have to go find...
You got to go hunt it down.
Hunt this down, get the death certificate. I mean, you would think it automatically, right? It should be a federal mandate. Every single person that has lost a family member due to COVID will get their funeral costs covered.
Yeah. Well, what if you get hit by a car during COVID, but you don't have the job or the money to pay for the shouldn't that? I mean, this is kind of.
Well, then you should be subsidized for not having a job.
Exactly.
But I mean, literally, it's just a joke. Our friend says, we live in a fucking cartoon because they didn't give you anything. They gave you $1,200 with Trump plus the $600, so that's $1,800 with Trump. Then they gave you what? How much this time? $1,400.
Yeah,
with
14.
Biden. And that was a lie. It was supposed to be 2,000 with Biden. I mean, and unemployment has barely been going, and people have lost their businesses, their houses.
Yeah.
We have seen people literally get evicted.
Is this her shining moment? Is this the Easter egg? Is this like the one thing she's delivered right now, that you get $9,000 when you die? Somebody can pick up $9,000. This is what she got you. This is what you elected Alexandria.
And they're working really hard. They worked really hard, Pasa.
Oh, yeah.
Schumer worked really hard, but Schumer,
she's like excited about it.
Schumer, out of all people, why do you think he's not working hard to get you Medicare for all? I don't understand how people can say, thank you, AOC. No, sorry. No, thank you. This is absolutely, it's crumbs. It's insulting. It's like you're starving and somebody eating a whole fucking sandwich and then being like, here's a piece.
A pickle.
Have fun with that.
Yeah.
And be happy with it, by the way.
And being proud that they gave you the pickle from their sandwich.
Yeah, it's
terrible.
Fucking disgusting. It
is pretty bad. I mean, this is if this is what you got, at least you got something to brag about, right? I mean, she got you money when you die. That's AOC's defining shining moment, ladies and gentlemen.
I hope people fucking start seeing through her and start this constructively, talking about the lack of policy, the lack of spine, all the things she said she would fight for. As somebody who fucking supported her, I am beyond enraged, and you should be too, because if you're not, then you're not here for the policies. You're here to fucking cheerlead and praise and deify these politicians who don't deserve to be deified because they're fucking public servants. They work for us. They're supposed to anyway. That's not what they're doing, and you need to call it out. And if I see people getting angry saying, well, no, stop attacking our allies, that is not an ally. An ally promoting Israel and their technology that's used to kill Palestinians and Syrians, that's not an ally. An ally doesn't promote money for you or your family after you die. An ally would be there not only forcing the vote, doing protests until we get a Medicare for all, until we get any of these things. And by the way, she's also pushing censorship and pushing this whole tweets are violent agenda. She hasn't said a goddamn word about what the CHP did. Under the order of Capitol Police. She hasn't said a word about Syria. I could go on and on and on. And the reason I'm more angry at her is because not only did the Justice Democrats and brand new Congress take away money from other candidates to support her, and thank you for Paula Jean Swearingen for exposing that even more, but also we all fundraise for her across the nation for her to fight the establishment, and all she's doing is tweeting at Republicans on Twitter.
Yeah, it's kind of sad too to see the way a lot of people are still kind of supporting and defending her and Bernie Sanders too as well. It's getting nauseating at this point, ladies and gentlemen. They duped you. They screwed you over. They haven't got you anything. The way they were beefing up this last rescue package and still doing it, and the way you guys are out there echoing it. Well, she got us this and we did that. She gave us Easter eggs. I mean, come on, ladies and gentlemen. You've been had. And it's time to see her for what she is. You know, that whole situation with California Highway Patrol, and nobody's even talked about that. I mean, that's scary shit, ladies and gentlemen. They're just going to show you up at your house, the thought police now.
For a fucking tweet?
Not even for a tweet, for a reply.
A reply. But either way, it's a tweet somebody made. It's a tweet, whatever. It's a fucking tweet. Tweets aren't violent, and that's what AOC said.